And our next report here is Dan Bidondi on the street. He went down with our other reporters. This is part 2 of a report we filed, Dan Ortiz's last night, where Dan decided to do a man on the street. He showed in the Fed protesters. It's not Fed. It's not a reserve. It's a foreign banking cartel. But it's named Federal Reserve, so it must be. I mean, Federal Express is federal, Federal Ammunition, Federal Plumbers, Federal Carpeting. It's all federal. I could change my name to Federal Reserve. Legally, I could do that. You can change your name to whatever you want. And then I could be like, hey, I'm federal and I'm reserve. And it's true because, well, that's my name. You know, there's a lot of camouflage out there in the world. So here is Dan Bidondi's excellent report, the Big D. And then we will come back with the quote of the day, and then I'm going to come back and break down how Agenda 21 works, how the environmentalists want to chop down trees and ruin swimming holes in your area for the earth, because trees hurt the earth. That's coming up. But here's Dan Bidondi's report.
Hi, Dan Bidondi in San Antonio, Texas, standing on a property what used to be called the Federal Reserve. We're live at a protest, and what we're going to do today is going to ask the people in the protest what the government calls terrorists and conspiracy theorists. We're going to question their knowledge on the Federal Reserve. Then later, we're going to go over to the Alamo and question the general public on the same questions about the Federal Reserve. Hi, I want to ask you 5 questions on the Federal Reserve. 1, what is the Federal Reserve?
The Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel that has a charter to issue America's money through debt to our Treasury Department.
It's a government-created cartel that got a bunch of bankers together so they can print paper and steal our wealth.
The Federal Reserve is a private for-profit bank that was started up in 1913.
The Federal Reserve is actually not federal at all. Its origins are as per the 1913 law, which was put through Congress on miraculously a day when most of Congress, probably 80% of Congress, was absent, and it was pushed through as legislation in order to guard or hedge against an economic depression of the type that we had prior.
The Federal Reserve is a private institution that prints money, usually not for interests as Americans, more for foreign banks, and I'd like to say the establishment's agenda. What they do is, like I said, they print money that's backed by nothing. They raise inflation rates. They raise the cost of living for the middle class.
Private international banking cartel.
Basically is a private banking institution that was founded in 1913, and it basically controls our money.
And you just answered all 3 of the first 3 questions. And what year was the Federal Reserve established in the United States?
The Federal Reserve's charter was established on December 23rd, 1913.
1913, one of those 13 unlucky number years.
1913.
1913, I believe.
It was established in 1913.
Is the Federal Reserve a federal or private company?
It's a private banking cartel.
Definitely private.
It's a private company, a bunch of bankers.
Private corporation.
Very much private.
Contrary to most people's belief, just because it says federal, it is not a federal entity at all. It's a private corporation.
And recently, the Fed announced QE3. What is QE3?
QE3 is, well, it's basically money debasement through the institution of $40 billion a month through the toxic mortgage assets department that's going to be pumped into the American economy.
It's where they're going to print a bunch more bucks that are going to devalue the money you got out here already.
The implementation of more fiat money into the money system that will devalue the dollar as it stands.
As Bernanke has announced, QE3 is actually going to be producing or pumping $40 billion worth of money into the economy every month.
Yes, quantitative easing. I believe they're going to start the process of printing even more money than they've already been printing. And like I said, it's going to only serve to raise inflation rates.
It's basically their failed strategy to try and ease the economic downturn that we're seeing and the devaluation of the dollar.
And final question, could you name 2 of the 3 major banking families that were at Jekyll Island that helped push the Federal Reserve?
Of course, there was the Morgans and the Rothschilds.
Let's see, there's the Schiff family, the Warburgs, the Rockefellers.
Well, there would be the Rothschild family banking, and that would be let's see, J.P. Morgan, I believe, is also owned by the Queen.
The Rockefellers, I believe I'm thinking the Rothschilds.
Yeah, the Red Skulls, which go by the Rothschild family, J.P. Morgan.
The Rothschilds, definitely. Morgan, as in Chase Morgan Bank.
We just moved over to the Alamo. Now we're going to ask the general public the same questions we asked the people at the end of the Fed rally. Hi, can you tell me what the Federal Reserve is?
No, I cannot.
No, I have no idea.
Not at the moment.
Yes, the central banks.
It's the bank for the government.
It's a bank. It's a bank or Unity.
Do you know what year they were established?
1920. 1800s?
Around 1840.
Well, now I do, 1913.
No, I do not.
I think, was it 1913 or 1915?
1913, yep. Is the Federal Reserve private or federal?
Federal. Private.
Federal.
It's a federal, but it's private banks.
You would figure it's federal, but more likely it's private.
Federal.
Recently, the federal government announced QE3. It's all over the news. QE3, do you know what that is?
I do not. A load of bull.
No.
No, actually, I don't.
I have no idea. I haven't heard of QB3 yet.
Last question. Can you name 2 of the 3 major banking families that were at Jekyll Island that helped push along the Federal Reserve in the United States?
I couldn't answer that one.
I'll give you one. Rockefellers.
Like I said, I couldn't give you any of them.
I don't know, actually.
I do not know.
No.
Lynch, Merrill, and I don't know. IBC?
No, sir, I cannot.
Was the Rockefellers and Rothschilds?
And as you can see, folks, the terrorist protesters we interviewed are smarter than the general public when it comes to the Federal Reserve. And this is Dan Bidondi reporting for the Infowars Nightly News.
Well, as you can see, people that know the Federal Reserve is private and has occupied this country and taken us over, they're informed. But then you go talk to the general public, one guy knew who some of the shareholders of the Federal Reserve was, and I said, wow, somebody knew? They go, no, they actually heard Bidondi informing somebody when they didn't know. So no one on the street of San Antonio knew that there's private shareholders of the Federal Reserve, except for the people protesting the Fed. And we're the extremists. I mean, being informed is bad. Here is the quote of the day. The decade of the 1990s was meant to have been the one in which a new world international order, free of the polar rivalry of earlier days, was to have been established. Jonathan Winston Howard, March 13, 2003, in a national address to the Australian Parliament. And that is Mr. Howard, who's pushed through carbon taxes there and is now scurried off to some new job. So there you go. It was meant to be the decade. They admit, David Rockefeller admits, all of them, they're about a decade behind. That's why they're accelerating everything fast right now. It is not all a foregone conclusion they can take over. But just like the Federal Reserve isn't federal, local environmental groups in your area are all globalist run. And we've never found one that isn't. Because you've got to own the environmental movement to stop real environmentalists being able to stop problems and use environmentalism to power grab. So when we come back, the lies, the deception, the chicanery in Austin, Texas, as we're told, trees must be chopped down so they can build condos on them to save the earth. But then they tell you, you can't build on your land. See, it's about we build, and if you don't like it, a SWAT team is going to drop by. We're going to have an in-studio guest when we come back. I'm Alex Jones. This is Infowars Nightly News.
Christy Hightower here with PlanetInfowars.com to give you a quick update on what's going on the site. Now, Alex says it all the time. You are the resistance. And if you're watching this broadcast right now, you're already making the effort to educate yourself. Now, I'm asking you to make the effort to get involved. And what better place and what better time than now to join PlanetInfowars.com. Now, I want to put this out there. You don't have to be a member to see some of the articles and the missions that I'm going to mention. But obviously, you can get involved and you can see comments and you can be more active active if you're a member. So planetinfowars.com. But on that note, I wanted to move into this article written by Planet Infowars user Exilus. And it really struck a chord with me because, here, let me read that first line to you. It says, "You've severed ties with friends whose time is no longer worth your own because they have made it clear they are too attached with the false reality they've grown up with and fed on a daily basis." Now, you can go finish this. It's titled Woes of the Awakened, and it's in the offbeat category. So offbeat category, Woes of the Awakened, check it out. I really appreciate your heartfelt post, Exilus. I appreciate it. All right, so moving on, there's actually another article I came across, and it was posted by Now. The user is Now, and it says, "Critics say you libertarians are soulless materialists." I don't know what you guys think about this, so go and put your comments below at the bottom of the article. If you sign in, you can post your comment. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about this. And then lastly, there's this awesome mission, and it's by the Resistance Group, one of many awesome active groups. And the mission is simple. It asks you to list what are the top 5 subjects you feel people should be talking about. So there's anything people have already posted. There's anything from Monsanto and GMOs, which we've seen a lot about lately, to the Federal Reserve, war crimes, economic collapse, preparedness. You name it, it's on the site. So it's great that people are already saying that this is what they want to see more of. And so you think you can change the world? Well, those of you that can and those of you that cannot are both usually right. So lastly, I wanted to say that if you haven't signed up for your free e-subscription for the Infowars magazine, this is the October edition, number 2, go to InfowarsShop.com to buy it in bulk, or you can go to Infowars.com/newsletter and sign up for it there. We'll be sending out the digital copy hopefully in the next few days. So go ahead and sign up ASAP. And then also, don't forget to follow us, Planet Infowars. We tweet out. We have an @RealPIW. It's @RealPIW. So you can find any of our tweets. You can also do a hashtag PIW. You can find us that way. And we also on Facebook /RealPlanetInfowars. Or you can find us through Alex Jones's Facebook. So we're just trying to keep you updated. We ask you questions. We want to see what you've got going on. We like to tweet out cool missions that we find on the site. We like to send out articles. So if you kind of get intimidated, the website Planet Infowars can be a little messy because there's so many cool articles and there's so many cool groups and missions. So we try to narrow it down a little bit for you there. And thank you, Patriots. You all are talking and we're listening. So till next time.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at Infowars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about a year and a half ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of longevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com. Sign up as a distributor and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. My friends, Alex Jones here with a very important announcement. We are launching a new salvo in the info war because there is a war on for your mind. You know that the globalists are trying to get everybody online and only online so they can control and surveil information and also erase books, videos, whatever they want to en masse. That's why we're launching our answer to the internet kill switch, Infowars magazine. The first issue, we printed over 90,000 copies of the September issue, and it sold out in less than 2 days. So get your copy of the new technocratic elite issue today before it sells out. Again, we cover from the technocratic social engineers' own words, their own admissions, their plan to take over our society and replace us with robots. But we don't just stop with the rise of the robots and the end of humanity, or will humanity survive the singularity. We get into the government buying now 1.6 billion bullets against the American people. We get into Big Sis's surveillance of this magazine and my website, Infowars.com. We cover QE3 and what hyperinflation means to you and your family. Whatever you do, don't look back later and wish that you would have taken action. Take action now. People have never been more ready for this information. People have never been this hungry, starving for the truth. And it is contained in the new issue of Infowars magazine. This is a time capsule. It is so important we get it out to everyone. If you subscribe now for 12 issues, we will give you the first issue absolutely free. So that's 13 issues for our 13 colonies, part of restoring the spirit of 1776 worldwide. Again, go to InfoWarsStore.com and order 10 packs, up to 100 packs at cost, and give them out to people in your area. The response last month was incredible. People are hungry to actually hold this information in their hands. You can also subscribe and get 12 issues delivered to your door and get the first inaugural issue free. I'm Alex Jones, thanking all of you for your support and making our operation a huge success.